All right, so Google just dropped something big. It's a new AI coding tool called Antigravity. And listen, it's not just another autocomplete. The claim here is that this could completely change how we build software. So, is it all hype? Let's dig in and find out.
Okay, so here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to meet anti-gravity. What is this thing really? Then, we'll get into what they're calling mission control for AI agents. After that, though, it's time for a reality check. What are the first users actually saying? And finally, we'll zoom out and see what this means for the new IDE wars that are heating up.
All right, first things first, let's meet Google Antigravity. The AI coding revolution is in full swing, so what's Google's big play here? What have they brought to the table?
So Google is calling this an agent-first IDE, and that phrase is a really big deal. See, most tools we use, like GitHub Copilot, they're designed to be your assistant, right? They help you write code. Antigravity flips that script entirely. The whole idea is that you're not the one coding anymore. You're the manager of a team of autonomous AI agents who do the coding for you. Think less pilot, more air traffic controller.
Now this is what really caught my eye, especially coming from Google. It's not a walled garden. You'd expect it to be all in on Google's own models, right? And yeah, it supports Gemini 3 Pro, obviously. But look at this. It also works with Claude from Anthropic and even an open source model, right out of the box. That's a pretty big deal and a very cool move.
So, that's the what. But the how is where things get really interesting. Let's dive into this core concept Google is pushing: mission control for agents. What does that actually look like in practice?
Okay, so anti-gravity basically gives you two different ways to work. On one side, you've got the editor view. And if you're thinking, hey, that looks just like VS Code, well, you're right. It's because it is a fork of VS Code. Google basically took Microsoft's open source code and built on top of it, so it feels familiar. But the real magic is supposed to be in the manager view. This is your mission control, your command center. From here, you can launch multiple agents, have them work on different projects, and just observe. It's a whole different level of orchestration. And what makes this whole system tick are a few key differentiators that are pretty wild. For one, it's a multi-agent system. You can spin up different AIs and have them work in parallel. And get this, it has its own built-in browser. That is a huge deal. It means an agent can test its own code, click around a web page, find bugs, and debug itself. Then you've got this artifact system to prove it's doing the work, and the agents are designed to learn and get better over time. Pretty ambitious stuff. The whole workflow boils down to this really cool three-step dance between you and the AI. Step 1, the agent does its homework. It researches the task and comes up with a detailed plan. Step 2, you come in. You act like the senior dev, reviewing the plan, adding comments, making suggestions. You're the director. And then, step 3, you give the green light, and the agent just goes. It implements the plan, tests the code, and even fixes its own mistakes, all on its own.
Yeah, and this quote from The Verge really nails why that artifact system is so important. It's one thing for an AI to just give you a giant wall of text, a log of all the things it did. It's another thing entirely for it to show you screenshots or even a video recording of its work. The whole point here is trust, right? You're not just taking the AI's word for it, you can literally see what it did.
Okay, so the promise is huge. The vision is wow. But what happens when this thing actually gets into the hands of real developers? Let's do a reality check and look at the unfiltered, no-holds-barred feedback from the early adopters.
And, well, this was the first thing almost everyone ran into. This one quote from a Hacker News user just says it all. You get excited, you download it, you start a project, and then, boom, 20 minutes later, you're out of credits. The generous free trial wasn't so generous for a lot of people.
And when you dig into the threads on Hacker News and other forums, you see the same complaints popping up over and over. Number one, obviously, was running out of credits almost instantly. But what made that even more frustrating was there was no way to buy more. You literally couldn't pay to keep using it. People also ran into UI glitches, sluggish performance, and agents getting stuck in frustrating loops. And yeah, there was a bit of grumbling that Google's big announcement didn't really give a nod to the fact that this is all built on Microsoft's VS Code. Now, for their part, Google's official line is that the free rate limits refresh every 5 hours. And they claim that only a very small fraction of power users should ever even hit that limit. But based on what we just saw from the community, it seems like the definition of a power user might have been someone who just used the tool for more than, say, 30 minutes. There's a real disconnect there.
So, let's pull the camera back a bit. Because this isn't just about one new tool with some launch day hiccups. This is about where anti-gravity fits into the much bigger picture. A new front is opening up in the battle for the developer's desktop, the new IDE wars.
And this comment from Hacker News just perfectly captures the drama. Think about it. Google won the browser wars with Chrome, which was built on open source. Now, Microsoft is absolutely dominating the IDE world with VS Code, another open source project. And what's Google's big move to challenge them? They're forking Microsoft's own product to compete with it. I mean, you gotta love the irony.
And this family tree, it's just amazing. It shows how everything in tech is connected. It all starts with KHTML. Apple forks it to make WebKit for Safari. Then Google forks that to make Chromium for Chrome. The framework that VS Code is built on, Electron, it uses Chromium. And now, in the final twist, Google has forked VS Code itself to create Antigravity. It's this incredible, full-circle story of giants building on, borrowing from, and competing with each other's work.
So when you put Antigravity on a chart next to its main rivals, you can really see the different bets being placed. Google's Antigravity is betting that you want to be a manager of agents. Then you have Cursor, another VS Code fork, which is all about making the editor itself smarter, with AI baked in deep. And of course, there's the 800-pound gorilla, GitHub Copilot, which still sees itself as your superpowered assistant, your Copilot. You're still the one flying the plane.
So here's the bottom line. This battle isn't just about who has the best code completion anymore. That's old news. This is a fight to define the future, the fundamental relationship between us, the developers, and AI. Is AI a tool, an assistant, or is it our new workforce?
And that really leaves us with this one big, fascinating question. As tools like Antigravity get better and better, is the very definition of what it means to be a software developer about to change forever? Are we headed for a future where our most important skill isn't writing code, but writing clear project briefs for a team of tireless digital AI agents? The Agent-First IDE is here, and, well, it just might change the whole game.